If you have been facing rejection in your relationships, or if you are going through a relationship where you feel rejected, I can help you get all the way to commitment, because this is proven science. All relationships are science, and if you can understand how your subconscious mind works in any kind of relationship, you can completely reverse engineer the dynamics that you are currently in, and you can find commitment in those relationships, because all of our relationship dynamics are controlled by our subconscious mind. And if you have been consistently facing rejection, there is a higher probability that you might have fear of rejection. So I have designed this training program to help you get inside your subconscious mind, locate your fear of rejection, understand where it is, how you can remove it, and by the end of this training you will have an action plan that will help you find commitment in your relationship. And that's a promise, and all I ask is just sit down, relax, and understand what I'm about to teach you, because this will completely change your life. And I have divided this training program into 3 parts. In part 1, we are going to focus on understanding where is this fear of rejection located inside your subconscious mind. I will help you understand how fear of rejection is born and how you can locate it inside your subconscious mind. In part 2, we are going to focus on how we can remove that fear of rejection, and I will teach you how you can remove it and how you can overcome it. And you will feel the shift in less than 2 to 3 minutes, because I am an instant healing hypnotherapist, and you will feel the shift instantly. In part 3, we are going to focus on the strategy plan that you need to start practicing from today, so that you can overcome this fear of rejection and you can find commitment in all your relationships. So this is a 3-part training program. I want you to sit down, relax, and let's begin. Now, before we can start our training, I want you to understand certain fundamentals. All relationships are a byproduct of what we are feeling inside. Our subconscious mind keeps attracting us to familiar experiences. That means whatever we are feeling inside, and all form of feeling is neurological state. So whatever neurological state we have inside our subconscious mind is something that we will consistently attract into our life. Now, there are several practices and spiritual practices that you might have heard of, such as law of attraction, law of vibration, law of resonance, law of assumption. In essence, each and every one of them talks about the same thing. It is, if you can get inside your subconscious mind and change the neurological state, you can change the outcome in your relationships. And this is exactly what I'm going to help you guys explore by understanding what is currently happening inside your subconscious mind. So let's start with fear of rejection, because fear of rejection is one of the primary factors that is making you attract rejection in your relationship. So we need to focus on understanding how is this fear of rejection born inside your subconscious mind, and how does fear operate, and how does fear take control of our relationship dynamic. And if we can understand that, and if we can locate that, we can resolve it instantly. Now let's start with understanding the birth of fear. Now, here are a few things we need to understand. Every fear starts from one emotional shock your subconscious mind couldn't process. The subconscious records the moment as danger, and it associates that danger to rejection, because we're talking about fear of rejection. So, we are going to be talking in the context of fear of rejection. It keeps replaying the same emotional pattern to protect you. Now, let me give you an example so that you can easily understand. Now, let's suppose you are afraid of spiders. Now, if you were to come across a spider right now, you will instantly feel that fear. But here is the thing I want you to ask yourself: is this fear something that you are feeling for the very first time? And the best question is, how do you know that you need to fear this spider? It is not a universal feeling, right? Because there are so many other people out there who do not even fear spider. So what makes it different for you and for them? For this, we need to understand our subconscious conditioning. This is because in your childhood, you might have come across a certain moment where your subconscious mind learned to associate spiders with danger or fear. And if you observe, this is the difference between someone who is afraid of spiders and someone who isn't. Now, the most interesting part is if you have fear of spider, you will consistently find spiders around you, or you might have more encounters with spider as compared to someone who doesn't fear it. That is our subconscious bias. Whatever we feel inside, our subconscious mind will focus on that. And in spiritual terms, you attract what you feel inside, and that feeling can also be negative. So that means if you have any kind of fear, you will attract that more into your life. But that fear that you feel when you look at a spider is not because this is the first time you are facing this situation. This is because your subconscious mind was conditioned to feel triggered anytime it encounters a spider. So that means your current fear that you experience when you encounter a spider is not your fear that you are feeling in this particular moment. It is something that you are replaying from your subconscious mind, and it is probably from your childhood. So that means anytime you feel fear, it is not because of what is happening in your external reality at any given time. It is because of what you faced as a child. That's when you learn that you need to fear it. So that means if we can locate that point of origin, or that memory where you first got introduced to the concept of fearing spider, we can actually remove this fear of spider. And that's the most interesting part. So this is how fear is born inside our subconscious mind. It is the very first encounter that we have with that situation, and our subconscious mind learns within that one particular moment that I need to feel afraid of something. So in your case, if you keep coming across rejection in your relationship, that means there might be a certain moment in your childhood when you first got introduced to this fear of rejection. Someone might have made you feel rejected, and your subconscious mind took that shock as a fear. And because of that, your subconscious mind keeps attracting rejection in your relationship. Now, let's understand the subconscious timeline. If we can understand the timeline of our subconscious mind, we can understand how to locate the point of origin or that first moment when we felt that fear. And if we can locate it, we can change it. The mind stores fear like bookmarks in time. Those bookmarks shape your relationship today. The first encounter with fear shapes our familiarity and response, and that is what we call the point of origin, exactly what we were talking about. Often linked to childhood moments of feeling unseen, unheard, or unloved. Now, let's try to understand what is our subconscious timeline. Now, according to our subconscious mind, our life is in a straight line. There is a point in time when we were born, and there is a point in time which is our present reality. And in between, there is a straight line that we have lived and the experiences that we have experienced in our life. Now, what we need to understand is between the ages of 1 to 9, now these are the ages when your subconscious mind is developing familiarity. And by that I mean your subconscious mind comes to this world and it has no idea how this world functions. It has no idea what is going around. So what it does is it starts learning through experiences. And whatever happens between the ages of 1 to 9, your subconscious mind develops familiarity with that. And if it develops familiarity with anything, whether it is good or bad, it will keep repeating again and again in your life. So that means on this subconscious timeline, between the ages of 1 to 9 is when our subconscious mind develops familiarity. And whatever happens after that, everything has a ripple effect that is influencing your current reality. That means anything good that happened between the ages of 1 to 9 will also have a ripple effect, and you might be experiencing that in your current reality. But however, if there was anything bad, such as fear, it will also have a ripple effect, and you will keep coming across those situations, people, and places that will trigger the same fear again and again. But the best part about your subconscious mind is if we can trick our subconscious mind to believe that a particular moment in your childhood never happened, What if we can remove that? What if we can remove the influence of that one particular moment that is creating a ripple effect? What's going to happen then? What's actually going to happen is any kind of trauma or fear has a lot of emotional intensity. Now, that emotional intensity anchors that particular fear in our subconscious mind. So, if we can go back to our childhood and if we can remove the emotional intensity of that particular moment, the ripple effect will collapse. That means your subconscious mind will no longer feel familiar with that fear, and as a result of that, that fear will end instantly and you will feel it. And then what's going to happen as a result of that is you will no longer attract that into your reality. Now, let's focus on the most important part, that is, how can we first of all remove the emotional intensity of any kind of fear? Now, for that, we need to understand lessons within fear. Every kind of fear is your subconscious mind trying to teach you a lesson. And that also means fears are just lessons we haven't acknowledged or practiced in our life. So let's understand that. Fear is not punishment, it's protection. Once you understand what it's trying to teach, it stops repeating itself. Let's continue the same example and I'm going to explain to you how it works. Let's suppose if you have fear of spider. And if I tell you that the lesson that you need to learn is spiders are not dangerous at all. In fact, if you snap your finger in front of a spider, the spider will think of you as family and it will go away. Now, I want you to observe this. What if this was the lesson? What if you knew how to handle this situation? And if this is the way that you can handle this situation, would you fear the spider? You wouldn't, because now you know how to handle this situation. So that means any kind of fear is lesson that we haven't learned. Fear only means that there is something that you do not know how to do in a situation like that. So your subconscious mind being clueless about how to deal with the situation triggers fear. So that means if we can practice the lesson and if we can understand what that lesson is, we can actually overcome fear and we can remove it. And we are going to talk a lot more about this in part 2 of this training program. But now, let's find out the root cause of your fear. And what we are about to do is, I'm going to take you inside your subconscious mind to the point of origin when that fear of rejection was born. And if we can locate it, we can change it. So, all I ask you is, just sit down, relax, and I'm going to take you into a very short hypnosis. And this method is very precise. And I want you to observe how we can just locate the point of origin for your fear. So just sit down, relax, and let's begin. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to focus on this fear of rejection. If you can subconsciously focus on that, your subconscious mind knows what we are talking about. So I want you to focus on this fear of rejection. And if you are currently going through rejection in your relationship, you can focus on that. I want you to just focus on this fear. Now, as you focus on this fear, I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth and just relax. And I want you to focus on this fear of rejection. Just focus on this fear. And as you focus on this fear, I want you to ask your subconscious mind, where is this fear located inside your body? First impression. Whatever answer comes to your mind first is always the right answer. Do not change that. Your subconscious mind is incapable of lying. So, whatever it tells you is the right answer. Do not doubt that. Always go with the first answer that you get. So, which body part comes to your mind first? Now, whichever body part came to your mind first, I want you to do something for me. With the tip of your finger, I want you to physically touch that particular body part. Now, as you touch that particular body part, I want you to observe what color energy do you see over there. First impression, what color is it? Now, whatever color comes to your mind first is always the right answer. The reason we are trying to identify the color is because your subconscious mind stores all kind of information in different colors. So this is how your subconscious mind is storing this fear of rejection. Now, let's ask your subconscious mind, when was the first time you felt this fear in your life? Now, a memory from your past will just pop up. Always go with the first memory that you get. Do not change the memory. Focus on this memory. Now, whatever this memory is, it doesn't matter. I want you to focus on this memory. What is happening in this memory? Because this memory is the point of origin for your fear of rejection. This is when this fear was born, and this is the point of origin. This is that one particular memory that is currently sabotaging your relationships. Now, open your eyes. Now, we have just identified the point of origin for your fear of rejection. This is the point of origin, and this is what we are going to work with. This memory is really important. This is when your fear was born, and this is what we are going to resolve. Now, in part two, I'm going to dive deep into helping you understand the relevance of this memory and how we can remove the influence of this one particular memory. Now, if you observe, the memory that you currently have is the first time that you felt fear of rejection in your life. And this is when that fear was born. So, if we can remove the emotional intensity of this one memory, we can completely transform our life. And that is what we are going to do in part two of this training program. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and let's go to part two of this training program. In this part two, we are going to focus on the relevance of the memory that you have. I will help you understand why this memory is so relevant, how we can remove this fear, and by the end of this, you will be completely free from fear of rejection. So let's get started. Let's recall the memory from part one. Recall the moment that you have uncovered in part one. So I want you to focus on that memory. Then that single experience became your emotional template for love. Secretly, if you observe, that one particular moment is controlling your entire relationship dynamic, because that's when that fear of rejection was born, and you always attract what you feel inside. So that means because of that rejection that you faced in that one particular memory, you keep consistently attracting relationship dynamic where you feel rejected or you are rejected. Since then, your subconscious mind has been searching for familiarity, and not love but safety. Now, you need to understand, since our subconscious mind only works on familiarity, because we attract whatever we are familiar with, and since you are so familiar with fear of rejection as a result of that memory, this is why you consistently attract rejection into your life. This one memory is controlling your entire relationship dynamic. And this is where we need to understand, we don't chase love, we chase what we feel is familiar. So that means either you will keep attracting or you will be attracted to people who will reject you. So let's understand those dynamics. How is this one memory shaping your relationship choices, and why you need to understand how it shapes the choices that you make in relationship. And for this, we need to understand nature versus nurture of rejection. Now, there are two situations that will play out if you have fear of rejection. One is nature, the other is nurture. How does nature play out? You are wired to find emotional chaos as normal. So that means you will naturally be attracted to people who will reject you, such as your subconscious mind is 20 times more powerful in analyzing people and predicting the outcome of any given situation. So if it feels a particular person will reject you in future, it will begin familiarity and attraction towards that particular person. This is what we call nature. In this dynamics, what actually happens is you naturally get attracted to people who your subconscious mind sees as someone who will reject you. and it wants to feel familiar neurological state, and familiar neurological state is fear of rejection. So that means by nature you will be attracted to such kind of people. But however, there is another dynamic that we also need to understand, which is nurture. You unconsciously teach partners to reject you by overgiving or fearing boundaries. Now, you would be shocked, like, why would I teach my partner? This is what your subconscious mind does. Just in case you attract someone who is really healthy. However, since your subconscious mind is familiar with rejection, what it will do is it will shape certain behavior traits inside you so that you behave in a particular way with your partner so that they reject you. And it does that secretly behind the scenes, such as by overgiving or fearing boundaries. You will intentionally not have boundaries with your partner, because what your subconscious mind is doing in this dynamic is it is plotting against you. It is putting in the groundwork for you to get rejected, and it will make you do things. By overgiving or fearing boundaries, you will place no boundaries. You might be really overgiving, and this is your subconscious mind behind the scenes plotting your rejection. This dynamic is what we call nurture. So, in this dynamic, what we need to focus on is the partner might not actually reject you. However, your subconscious mind will be plotting against you, and it will subconsciously influence your partner by your behavior to make sure that you get rejected. And why will it do that? Because either way, fear scripts your reality. Your subconscious mind is very egoistic. It wants validation from your external reality that whatever you're feeling inside is valid. And if what you're feeling inside is fear, it will try to validate that fear by either being attracted to someone who it knows will reject you, or if you get attracted to someone who will not reject you, your subconscious mind will secretly plot against you by nurturing your partner to reject you. At the end of the day, either it's nature or nurture, you will be rejected. And at the end of the day, your subconscious mind will go like, aha, since I have this fear, it keeps coming alive again and again. So that is your subconscious mind trying to make sure that fear manifests into your reality. And in this case, it is rejection. Now we need to understand the mirror effect, and this will give us more insight into understanding how the subconscious mind interacts with reality and how our fear is interacting with reality. Every partner reflects the same emotional lesson until you learn it. The universe keeps repeating the scene so you can finally change your reaction. Now, one of the things that you need to understand about your subconscious mind is, we learned in part one, any kind of fear is your subconscious mind trying to bring your attention towards lessons that you haven't acknowledged yet. And once you acknowledge the lesson, the fear goes away, the manifestation of that fear also goes away. So, this means your subconscious mind and the universe will keep attracting those experiences into your life because they want you to learn the lesson. The moment you learn the lesson, your vibration shifts, your neurological state shifts, you attract completely different kind of dynamics. And in my 15 days instant healing program, I have seen this several times. The moment we remove the fear of rejection, people end up finding commitment in their relationship. They attract healthy partners into their life, or even their ex. But to attract your ex, you need to understand the nurture dynamics need to be at play. If you were the person who was nurturing them, they aren't ideally someone who would reject you, but you were the one nurturing them. Once we remove the fear, you might be able to attract even your ex back if you haven't completely sabotaged that relationship. But you need to understand, either to attract a new commitment or the old commitment, you need to first of all remove that fear of rejection. So the process remains the same. Now let's understand how the cycle of fear even works. You see, if you have fear, that fear will control you. That control will create resistance, and that resistance will lead to rejection. And once you get rejection in your relationship, that's a proof of your fear manifesting into your reality. Now, that is how the cycle of fear works. Now, let's focus on how we can remove this through hypnosis. And what we are going to focus on is this one important question that we are going to ask our subconscious mind, which is, What are the three lessons I need to learn to remove this fear? Now, I want you to focus once again on that memory that you got on day one. Now, as we focus on that memory, I want you to sit back, relax, and we are about to remove this fear, and you will feel it in a couple of minutes. Now, just sit down, relax. Now, once again, here is something I want you to do. I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just relax. Now, as you relax, I want you to focus on that memory that you have. I want you to observe that this memory is floating right in front of you. And as it's floating right in front of you, I want you to physically, with both your hands, I want you to grab this memory. Now, as you grab this memory physically with both your hands, I want you to ask your subconscious mind, how much do you feel this fear of rejection right now on a scale of 0 to 10? 0 means it's none, 10 means it is the highest. What is the first number that comes to your mind? Now, whatever number comes to your mind first is always the right answer. Do not change that. Now we know the intensity of this fear. Here is something I want you to do. You know that all the pictures have a blank side behind them. So I want you to flip the side of the picture so that the blank side of this picture is facing you. As you do that, I want you to hold on with both your hands once again. And here is something I want you to do. I want you to imagine that you have a magical golden pen inside your finger. I want you to start writing once we ask your subconscious mind this magical question. Now, the question is, what are the three lessons I need to learn to remove this fear forever? Now, what is the first lesson that comes to your mind? Whatever your subconscious mind says, just write it down on the blank side. Physically, with the tip of your finger, write it down. And to make it even better, speak it out loud. Write it down and speak it out loud. Now, what is the second lesson? Write it down, speak it out loud. Perfect, perfect. Now, what is the third lesson? Write it down and speak it out loud. Perfect. Now, as you have all these three lessons written down, I want you to once again reflect on these three lessons. Make sure you take a mental screenshot of these three lessons and always remember them. Promise your subconscious mind you will always remember them and you will always practice them. Now, here is something I want you to do. I want you to tear this picture now. Physically, with both your hands, tear this picture, make small pieces of this picture and collect all of them inside your hand. Rip it to shreds and just rip it to small bits and pieces and collect it all inside your hand. Rip it apart and just hold it right inside your hand. Now, as you are holding on to these bits and pieces, I want you to ask your subconscious mind something. Where can you throw this so that it never ever comes back? Now, whatever your subconscious mind says, I want you to throw this over there. Let it go and it's gone forever. Now, hands down, relax, and I want you to focus on that body part that you identified before where this fear was located. And I want you to once again observe that particular body part. What color energy do you see over there right now? First impression. And I bet the color is going to be something good. Now, whatever this color is, here is something I want you to do. With each and every breath you take, I want you to spread this energy all the way from your head down to your toes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth and spread this energy all the way from your head down to your toes. This is you telling your subconscious mind to remove any other form of fear of rejection from your body. And all you have to do is just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth and double the brightness, double the intensity, double the magnitude. And by doing this, you are instructing your subconscious mind to intensify this healing energy and make sure that it never ever comes back. Observe the feeling inside your body. Whatever you're currently feeling inside your body is your subconscious mind building up new neural pathways and removing that fear of rejection. And all you have to do is just double the brightness with each and every breath you take, double the intensity with each and every breath you take, and double the magnitude with each and every breath you take. And that's all you have to do. And allow your subconscious mind to make the changes inside your body. Whatever your subconscious mind is doing, allow your subconscious mind to do that. And only once your subconscious mind says, that the fear is gone and it's all the way to zero, only then can you finally open your eyes. Now, I'm going to give you some time because we are doing this collectively and we are not doing it one on one. So, I'll give you some time. I'll give you 5 seconds. And after 5 seconds, I'm going to bring you out of this hypnosis. So, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And at the count of 5, you're going to open your eyes and bring this magnificent feeling into your reality. Until then, just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth and double the brightness, double the intensity, double the magnitude. So 1, 2, double the brightness. 3, 4, double the brightness, double the intensity, double the magnitude. And 5, open your eyes and observe the feeling inside your body. And you're going to observe that the fear is gone. Now, I want you to once again rate this fear on a scale of 0 to 10. How much do you feel it? What's the first number that comes to your mind? And you're going to observe that the number will go down to 0. And that is good. And for those of you for whom it didn't go down all the way to 0, repeat the hypnosis part once again. There might be something else that you need to acknowledge. And once you acknowledge that, it will go down to 0. But for those of you for whom it went down all the way to 0, I want you to try something out for me. I want you to bring back that old fear of rejection once again and observe what happens instead. Try to bring it back and observe. And you are going to observe that the fear just won't come back because it's gone. That's the beauty of your subconscious mind. It is so powerful, it can remove any kind of fear. Now, this is the end of part 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. This is part 3. In this part, we are going to develop the action plan that you need to have and start practicing from today based upon the lessons that we got from your subconscious mind. Now, let's get started and understand the relevance of the lessons that you have got from your subconscious mind. Now, to understand that, we need to first of all understand rejection is a teacher. So, what does that mean? Every rejection is feedback from your subconscious mind. Here is the part of you still waiting for your own love. And how is that? Reflect on your lessons from hypnosis. From our last video, the lessons that you got from your subconscious mind, I want you to reflect on those lessons. And as you reflect on those lessons, here is something I want you to ask yourself. Do you think if you practice these lessons, you will never be rejected? What do you feel? What are those lessons? Do you feel if you keep practicing these lessons, or if you did practice these lessons into your life, would you ever face fear of rejection? And I know the answer to that. Of course, you are thinking, if I would have been practicing these lessons into my life, I would have never felt rejected or got rejected from anyone, because your subconscious mind is giving you the lessons that you need to acknowledge, and these lessons are very authentic. Now, the second question I want you to ask your subconscious mind: do these lessons from childhood memories serve your current relationship situation? So I want you to observe the lessons that you got from your childhood memory. Now understand these. The lesson that you have got is from a memory from your childhood, but somehow they will also serve you in your current relationship dynamic. How does that happen? This is because these are the lessons that you never learned as a child, and as a result of that, you keep attracting those situations into your life where you keep getting rejected. So now you have the lessons. This is the most important part. Now you have an action plan. Now, how can you develop a strategy out of this action plan? We need to focus on the integration formula. Now, what is this formula? And I want you to understand awareness is only half the job. Now you are aware of the lessons, but this is only half the job. For true transformation to happen, awareness needs to be added with action. Only once you add awareness with action will you finally get the real transformation. So we are going to focus on actions now. You must live the lessons, not just understand it. Because if you observe, just by acknowledging those lessons, that fear was gone and you have experienced that. So that means the fear is gone. But in order for that fear to be gone forever, you need to make sure that you practice those lessons, and we can make an action plan or a strategy out of those lessons. We are going to convert those lessons into actionable items. It is really important because if you observe, each and every lesson that you have got triggers a particular neurological state. And if you observe, that neurological state will also attract similar experiences into your life. So I want you to reflect on the three lessons that you got and observe what is the neurological state behind those lessons. And you're going to observe that the neurological state behind each and every lesson will ensure that you never ever attract rejection into your life. So that means we need to put these lessons into actionable items. Now, the way I tend to incorporate these lessons into actionable item is we need to embody them into daily practice. So we need to develop certain activities or practices that will trigger the neurological state that your subconscious mind is talking about. And how can we do that? Let me give you certain examples, and these examples will help you to convert them into actionable practices or activities that you can do on a daily basis. Now, these daily embodiment ideas. Are, if your lesson is, I am safe alone, if it is something along those lines, have coffee solo or take a mindful walk. Now, if you do that, you will trigger the neurological state of you are safe alone. And if you do that, you will attract more of that into your life. So this means we can convert this one lesson into an actionable item that we can practice on a daily basis. If your lesson is my voice matters, you can journal or voice note your truth daily, or you can go out and talk to your friends and express yourself in a meaningful way, and that will trigger the same neurological state. And we want to build familiarity with that neurological state. And if we can become familiar with that neurological state, that is what we will keep attracting in all our relationships. Then, if your lesson is love feels calm, start your day in silence before checking your phone. I'm just giving you ideas. You don't really have to do exactly what I'm saying. Just find some activities that can convert these lessons into actionable items. The outcome that we are trying to focus on is to trigger the same neurological state that each of the lesson is trying to trigger inside of you. And the reason we are trying to do that on a daily basis is any neurological state that your subconscious mind can feel for a prolonged period of time, it will get familiar with that. And if it gets familiar with any kind of neurological state, it will keep attracting those kind of people and experiences into your reality. And that will build up emotional immunity to fear of rejection. How does that happen? The more you repeat safe experiences, the more your brain rewires. Fear loses power because your body learns safety is normal. So by doing these actionable items, this is what we're trying to achieve. When you stop fearing rejection, you stop attracting it. And how do you stop it? By acknowledging the lessons and making sure that you can convert those lessons into actionable items or actionable practices. Now, at the end, let's do some reflection so that you have a more comprehensive understanding of what just happened and how you have overcome this fear of rejection. What did my fear try to teach me? Ask yourself, what did your fear try to teach you? Then ask yourself, what daily action helps me embody that lesson? So that is what we are trying to achieve over here. Now you have a clear strategy And I can promise you, if you keep practicing what we have learned in this training program, you will be able to attract the relationship that you truly desire, and you will find the commitment that you are looking for. And that is a promise, because you always attract what you feel inside. Now, for those of you who found this training to be really helpful and would like to work with me in my 15 days instant healing program, because in my 15 days instant healing program, I go into a lot of detail about advanced healing techniques with instant healing hypnosis. So I help you remove your father wound, your mother wound. That completely changes your attachment style, and it completely heals your relationship pattern. But as a bonus, I also teach you instant healing hypnosis, because I want you to learn these practices so that you can get inside your subconscious mind and remove any kind of trauma or negative neurological state or any kind of blockage in less than 2 to 3 minutes. I give you a roadmap so that you can get inside your subconscious mind and remove all the blockages. Because if you can get inside your subconscious mind and remove anything in less than 2 to 3 minutes, why stop there? Let's go ahead and remove all the blockages. And as a bonus, I also teach you conversational hypnosis, the art of having a casual conversation with anyone and making them attracted to you in less than a minute of conversation. And this comes in really handy to sustain a long-term relationship, because communication is the key to having a good relationship. So once you master both of these, in my 15 days instant healing program, you will become irresistible to healthy, long-term, sustainable relationship. I'll leave a link in the description. All you have to do is you have to sign up for a free mini therapy session with me. Now, in this session, I will analyze your subconscious mind map, your subconscious attachment style. And if I feel, I can promise you the results. And only if I feel, I can promise you the result, because my program comes with a money back guarantee. I will allow you to enroll into my program. However, if I feel like I cannot promise you the results, I might not allow you to enroll into my program, because I do not want to waste your time or money. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And I want you to leave a lovely comment about your transformation, how this training program has helped you out. And I want you to share this with people who are going through a lot of pain in their relationship, so that this video can also help them out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Up until then, stay happy, stay blessed, and keep healing. Bye-bye.